Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Illinois Stories. I'm Mark McDonald in Springfield at the Colony West Swim Club, where they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. Now, if you don't get off Wabash Avenue on this side or Isles Avenue on this side, just east of the mall, you may not even know this swim club exists. But back in the 60s, when Colony West subdivision was started, this swimming pool was built as an incentive to sell lots. Well, in those 50 years, a lot has changed and a lot has remained the same. Ann Meckes, every morning during the summer months, you come here to Colony West Swim Club, and you're one of the oldest members,
Yes.
one of the longest standing members.
Yes.
But you come every morning to swim, and then you're such a good member that you also water the flowers for them, don't you?
I do.
Why is the morning important for you at
I
Colony
need to get
West?
an early start,
Yeah,
and Mary Ellen and I need to get a lane. And we used to come at 6,
yeah.
no lanes, because we don't swim together with a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
So we get our own lanes at 5:30.
That's why you get up so early.
That's
okay,
correct.
It's the competition. Okay, all right. It's
yes.
not that you love the early morning so much, you just
Right.
don't want the competition.
Right.
Okay, but then when you're through, you also get your little walk-in and you get to do your flower watering, huh?
I water every other day, and I've done it for 20 years. I like the petunias, and I got the pots and started planting, and it's
The
kind
petunias
of the thing.
are beautiful. I don't want to
Thank
stop you. Let's go ahead and get a little watering done here. But your morning wouldn't be the same without this ritual, I guess.
That's
would it?
correct. Yes, I'd feel lost.
I said you're one of the longest standing members. How long have you
Correct.
been a member of this club?
Since 1969.
60, okay, so that's 79, 89, 99.
We've been here 46 years.
46 years. So you raised your kids here. I mean, in the summertime.
Four children, yes,
Yeah.
yes. They lived here. At the time, they played ball. They came over here at 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
and we swam all day.
Yeah.
And
That
they
was a
loved
great
it.
way to spend a summer.
Yes.
And they were close to home because you just live in the block right here.
Correct.
And a lot of we're going to learn in this program that this was really started as a neighborhood pool because the people who bought lots in Colony West became members of the pool. That was
Correct.
the point,
They didn't
right?
have to pay initiation fees, which was huge.
Yeah.
And it was a camaraderie with everybody was friends. And the ball teams were all ride the bike to the ball diamond and then over here.
And in fact, your grandkids too, right? Your grandkids raised here in the summer.
Yes.
And your dear husband, Dick, after he got ill, you were able to provide therapy for
I
him.
brought him here every day at 11 o'clock, and we walked in the pool for an hour. When we finished, they knew they needed to get a drumstick for him up at the concession stand.
Talk about
It
rituals.
was kind of a joke.
Well, but he loved that.
Yeah,
Huh?
oh,
He
yes,
loved that.
yes,
That was his
yes.
reward for working hard.
That's correct.
Okay, I don't want you to miss those tulips there those
Petunias.
petunias, yeah, because they might feel neglected. This was really nice of you. You planted the seeds for this story in my head, and we have arranged to have some of the original board members here, some of the people who actually were in on when your club bought this pool from the developers.
Right.
And my goodness, we've had some really successful swimmers go through this program.
Yes.
The latest one is here today. He's a former state champion and a scholarship swimmer at North
Right.
Carolina State.
Right.
So we got a whole bag of stuff to do, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Irv Smith, we're talking about 50 years of Colony West Swimming Club.
Right.
And that can't be talked about without you because you were the first coach, right? In fact, you managed the club right off the bat, didn't you?
Second year. Oral Vanderwater did. Van was the first YMCA swim coach, and they hired him. He didn't want to do it. So the second year, Mort Barker was a pretty good friend of mine from the YMCA, and I ended up talking him into hiring me.
And you were a teacher at the time.
Yeah.
So making a little money in the summer was a good thing to do, wasn't
It
it?
was the only way you could live.
Yeah. I think you said that you were making $3,000 a year as a
I
teacher
started,
back
I
then?
was probably up to about 3,700.
Yeah, so a couple of hundred, a few more hundred in the summer months
Well,
was really nice.
it
huh?
ended up being a better paying job coaching swimming than teaching school.
Yeah. And this is your first swim team was in '67. I love these pictures.
66 was my first.
Oh, your first. So this is the '67 team.
That's 66.
Yeah. Let's show the '66 team first here then. This is the first team, and you had a big team. A lot of players.
I was a recruiter. I always got accused of recruiting.
Over here, here's Irv Smith, way on the corner over here. And Mike Schwartz, one of your best swimmers. A lot of people in Springfield still remember Mike. And he was one of your older members too, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Good team. And you, in fact, you used to coach the Illini Country Club team. You ended up beating them, didn't you, when you went over to Colony West?
When we had the city swim meet, took a couple of years, but we got to it.
Yeah. So you managed the pool, you coached the swim team, and you also saw that transition from it being owned by the developer into becoming a club, huh?
Well, I saw it, but I was gone. I left in 1970.
I see.
I bought the Old Sun and Fun that I made the Olympic Club, and I ran it up until 85 or so.
And still coaching swimming, I guess, during that time?
Never quit.
Never quit. Once it's in your blood, it's in your blood, right?
Well, yeah, you like kids. As a teacher, it's a great summer job, you know, and it just everything worked out. My kids all had to become swimmers. They had no choice.
It was good for them.
Yeah, it sure was.
Thanks, Irv.
Yep.
Ryan Held, I was just bragging on you because, you know, I come to this pool too. And so I feel like I called you probably the best swimmer that ever came out of Colony West, and I don't know if that's true or not, but it's pretty close to true, isn't it? Pretty successful swimmer anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say the best, but I mean, I have had some recent success in coming in from this pool.
Yeah, and you kind of learned to swim here, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely like, I mean,
I've got proof. See, I've got proof. Because I've got a little kid, and I think this isn't even Colony West.
No, it's not even Colony West. It's Racket Club.
Okay, so I can't brag on you about Colony West. Okay, all right, but that's a pretty cute picture of you anyway. That's the littlest one that we have. That's the youngest picture we have. Yep. But I was saying, you know, you recently won the 2 Illinois State high school championships.
Yep.
Now you're at North Carolina State.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going great. I had a great first year academically, athletically. Won ACC championships as a team, and I made the all ACC team.
No kidding. So you're studying as well, huh?
Oh,
Man,
yes.
that doesn't leave much time for fun. In fact, the NCAA, this is one of your recent trophies, isn't it?
Yes.
And this is for the 800-yard freestyle.
Yes.
And you and your team came in second place. Yes. Okay. And here's a real recent picture of you. And you have your Cyclones swimming and diving shirt on. This is your state championship, huh?
Yes, this was my senior year at Evanston High School. And that's where I set both Illinois state records in the 50 and 100 freestyle, and I won both 50 and 100 freestyle.
That's terrific. Hold your medals up for us.
These are
These are they, right?
Yes, these are the 2 medals.
Oh, man.
Signify that.
Those are really neat. And this is like when you were a little kid. This was one of your first medals, right?
Oh, yeah. This was one of my first ever championship medals that I won at a big-time meet. And this was 2004 YMCA state meet. And this is for the 25-yard butterfly.
What do you remember about swimming at Colony West when you were a kid?
Oh, the fun and the social aspect. Colony West, it was just kind of goofy. It was fun. And then the social aspect, like after every swim meet, the team would go to a restaurant, have dinner, like just kind of hang out, relax, talk about the swim meet. It was just a fun atmosphere.
It was a great place for the family to go too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, this was probably like the original social networking for younger kids, because you didn't have to make plans. You just could come here, see your friends, and just hang out with them for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
You didn't have to call anybody to make sure they were coming. You just kind of knew they were there.
Yeah. You know, a swimmer like you, an athlete like you, doesn't get a lot of free time. You happen to be home this week, but you travel a lot. You were in Texas recently, and you were swimming with some of the best members of the U.S. swim team, weren't you?
Yes. I was actually just racing a few Olympians. Michael Phelps, Eric Rosavaldo, both multi-time Olympians that hold world records and national records, and so it was definitely a humbling experience to swim against them. But and then in previous meets, I've swam against Nathan Adrian, Ryan Lochte, some of the biggest stars in swimming.
Yeah, yeah. it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to you. I assume you want to make the U.S. team at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Olympic trials are coming up next year in Omaha, and as it is right now, I'm the 13th fastest 100 freestyler going into the meet.
Wow. Well, listen, since you brought it up, I'm going to ask you to swim for us later in this program, all right?
All right.
And we're going to do a lap, and I'm going to have your old coach time you, and he's going to do a little play-by-play for us, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Stuart, we were talking with Irv Smith about that period of time between it was a developer's pool and it became the Colony West Swim Club owned by the members.
Yes.
And he said, no, he was gone by then, but you weren't. You were
No.
involved in it.
I was actually president of the pool when, in the 80s, we decided that we wanted to buy the pool. You know, we were like anybody else. We were like any other person. We were paying, under a lease, we were paying rent every year. And we weren't getting anything to show for it. And we knew that there would be things we wanted to do, and sometimes we would have, not disputes, but we would ask Park Realty, who owned it, to make some improvements, to talk about improvements, and they were reluctant sometimes to do that. So we decided if we own it, we can do what we want.
Yeah.
So by that time, Bob Barker, Mort Barker was the original owner of the pool, Park Realty. Bob was his son, and Bob had come back here to assist in the business. And I had met Bob at a few social functions, and I called him up, and I said, Bob, on behalf of the board, we'd like to talk about buying the pool. And he said, all right. And it wasn't a difficult process because they wanted to sell and we wanted to buy. So I think it took us 2 lunches, and we agreed on a price, and then luckily in our membership we had a few attorneys, and so the attorneys handled the paperwork, and we purchased the pool. And I remember when we did it, the board was concerned that we would have enough money, and and that we'd be able to pay for it over the years. We had a mortgage. I think it might have been with Security Federal, but we had a mortgage. We took out a mortgage, and within 5 or 6 years, the pool was paid for. And then in the late 90s, we were able to build a new pool. We tore the old pool down and built a new pool, and I was still president, and I still remember that was a very tough winter, because the company that built the pool said they would start work in January or February as soon as the weather broke. One of our board members, Woody Hill, was actually supervising the work, and all I could think about from February until the pool was actually finished, which was probably in mid-April, was if this pool doesn't open on Memorial Day, I'm going to get phone calls from 400 families about when is the pool going to open, when is the pool going to open. They're going to be mad. Yes, but we got it done. Yeah. BRH was our contractor. They did a wonderful job. And then a few years later, we heated the pool. And we've done quite a bit. If you can see, when you look over on the other side, we added on the snack bar.
The concession stand.
The big concession stand.
Yeah.
And we also changed where that diving tube sits. We used to have a high dive. But when we built the pool in the 90s, it was decided that the high dive needed to go because of insurance reasons. And so we took out the high dive and we put in that tube, and the kids love it. But we used to have on the 4th of July, we used to have a big belly flop contest. And we had to the belly flop contest isn't as good from the low board as from the high board, yes.
Hey, Stuart, thank you very much for
thank you,
visiting.
Mark. It's been great.
John Henry, I know you've been manager here forever, but even before that, you were a swimmer here, right?
Yes, I was.
You grew up in the neighborhood.
Yeah, parents built the house, and the first summer here was 68.
68. Do you even count those up? It's 40-some years right
then.
About
47.
You've either been swimming or managing here.
Yes.
You've been managing over 20 years. Huh?
17, actually.
17
And
years.
I was an assistant for about another 10.
And you teach at Lincoln Land, right?
Yes,
at
I teach
Lincoln
at
Land
Lincoln
Community
Land,
College.
yes.
We started off this interview with you showing this picture, and I wanted to show this because you thought so much of Colony West Swim Club. You got married. You got married here.
Yeah, it was. This is the only wedding that I know of that's been here, and they allowed me to do it. So we had about 150 people here.
What did your wife think of getting married at the pool?
I don't think she was too sure about it at first.
But you're still married, right?
We're still married, yeah.
So you did something right there.
Oh yeah, happily married, and she actually, even her grandmother was here, and they really enjoyed it.
Does she ever come to the pool, or does she say, those days
A
are
little,
behind me?
a little bit, yeah.
But for you, it's like going to your work. She doesn't want to go to your work, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And when I'm off, I really don't want to come back to my work, but I do. I bring the kids sometimes.
Well, you've seen a lot of changes, but I think one of the biggest parts of your job is hiring the young people
Yes.
that work here as lifeguards and attendants and stuff. Have kids changed at all in all those years, or are they still pretty much the same?
A little bit. They've changed a little bit. A lot of times, they're not as, what do you want to say? They're not as energetic, for one. You have to tell them each step. They just don't go do things like they used to. Yeah.
Not quite as much initiative.
No.
Be darned.
No.
I hope none of them are listening.
I hope not. But you get a few that really do a very good job, and I have a lot of people that stay with me through the high school and most of college, and then I get employers calling me because they've been here 5 or 6 years.
And then you're the reference
And
for
I'm
them
the
to move
reference.
on.
Yes.
That's very good. That's very good. Well, congratulations on your wedding, these
thank
many
you.
years ago, and the fact that you're still happily
Yes,
married.
thank
That's
you.
perfect.
Okay.
Thanks for visiting with us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Nick, Merrill, we get a chance to see a world-class swimmer here today. You're quite a swimmer yourself. You taught this young man a little bit about swimming, didn't you? You're a master swimmer yourself.
Well, I have been competing for a while, but Ryan has really taken his gifts to a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
He started out at the YMCA program, swam here at Colony West during the summers, and has continued his success in swimming to date through North Carolina State. And I think we're looking and hoping for great things in the upcoming years.
Yeah. Okay, you have a stopwatch, and we've asked him to do a fast 50 for us, which is down and back.
Correct.
And he's getting his breath now, and he's gonna show us how it's done.
Okay.
When he's ready, he'll nod to us. You will nod back to him and say start, right? Or something to that
Yes.
effect?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Ready?
Ready? Can I get like a minute or something?
Okay.
Yo, once you go in, it's like 24, 23. Is
Okay.
that a good time for me to pool? All right.
What's he saying?
He's asking what time to go to. He's asking for what time to go, because he's going to try to go as fast as he can.
Mm-hmm.
But also the time that he's going to go is probably going to be one of the fastest times that will probably swim in this event in the nation this year.
Okay, and we get to see it. That'd be
And we get to
terrific.
see it.
Okay.
And we'll get to enjoy it.
And he's going to nod to you when he's ready, huh?
Correct.
Okay,
He's
all
just
right.
going to need to catch his breath. He'll go through a cycle internally where he'll
Looks
know
like-
when he's ready.
Yeah, he's gathering himself right now, isn't he? He's listening to his body, isn't he, Nick?
Yes.
Listening to his body.
You know when it's time to go.
Okay, now he stands up. Little pregame ritual here.
Yeah.
Okay, he's ready.
Ryan, I'll start you. Take your mark. Hit.
How's he doing so far, Nick?
He's doing phenomenally.
He's stirring it up, isn't he?
He is right on par to be one of the top times in the nation right now.
He doesn't even stop. He doesn't even pop up until he's a third of the way down the pool. Okay, so what did we get? What did we get?
22.96
For a 50.
for a 50. 22.9, Ryan. 22.9.
Is he happy with that? I can't tell.
It'd be in the low 20s.
20.4?
Maybe even the high 19s.
22.9, huh?
22.9.
Should he be happy with that?
I would be very happy.
Okay, well, I know you would be.
Yeah. I'd be happy
Should
with
he be
one
happy
length.
with
Yeah. Nice job, Ryan. Congratulations. Good job.
Thanks, Ryan. Okay, now give me a little critique. Did he at any time get out of control there, or was he looking really under control the whole time?
He was right where he should be. He had a nice push off the wall down here. Went about 8 or 9 yards doing the undulation underwater.
Yeah.
Broke the surface. His stroke was even from both right arm and left arm. He was right on top of the lane line. He had a nice flip turn, again hit the wall, did a good job on the undulation off the wall, and then came up about another 8 or 9 yards out and finished nice and strong and had one of the best times that you'll see in the nation this year.
And we saw it at Colony West Swim Club.
Right here
in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrific? Thank you, sir.
You bet.
So this turns out it's not really a day off for Ryan. He had to work today. He had to get in the pool and actually work today.
Yes.
But it looked like he enjoyed his work.
Oh, he loves swimming. It's always been a passion for him.
Yeah.
Ever since he was little, he just loved to be in the water.
Well, he sure is good at it.
Well, thank you.
When you watch, I come to this pool, and I see a lot of swimmers. I guess we call ourselves swimmers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really swimmers like Ryan is a swimmer. But when you see somebody who really knows what they're doing, it's a whole different sport, isn't it?
Yes. A lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of small particulars that go into it as far as how to be more efficient in the water. So yeah, it's been a lot of lessons, a lot of time in the water to get to this point.
Oh yeah, and we showed, when we talked to him earlier, we showed some of the medals that he won when he was 8 years old. And when you're 8, you just do what comes naturally. But that's not the way it is when you become a junior swimmer and a high school swimmer. You really have to take your coaching seriously, don't you?
Yes, and he's had great coaches. He's been very blessed to have great coaches through here, the Colony West, the YMCA, SHG, and now he's got some great coaches at North Carolina State University. So he's had great coaching, and he wants to be better. So he listens to his coaches and does the work. So he's always setting his goals ever since he was little. He always set goals. So he'd post them on his bulletin board, and for that year, those were his goals.
In his bedroom,
yes.
He'd post his goals. I'll be darned. Boy, that's see. When I was a kid, I wasn't that organized. I just whatever felt good and whatever I wanted to do. If it was fun, I just went ahead and did it. But maybe that's why I'm wearing where he is. But you got to be really proud. It's fun to watch him, isn't it?
We are. It's been a great blessing, a great privilege. As we've gotten to watch him, it was never on our radar that he would become an established swimmer to this level. Never. He enjoyed it. It was fun. It was family. So it was just something we did. His brother swam, so he wanted to do what his brother did. So it was quite nice for the family. Yeah. But we just never thought he would take it to this level. But it's always been a passion for him, and he's worked real hard at it, set goals, and has been very blessed. It's been a privilege. It has.
Several years ago, I got to do a story about a figure skater here in Springfield named Gracie Gold. Nobody had ever heard of her before. And then, of course, 2 years ago, she won the Nationals and she went to the Olympics. And I get the feeling now, doing a story about Ryan, I kind of get the feeling this is going to happen again.
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be super?
That would be great. That is on his goal list.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of work to do between now and then, but it's on his goal list.
Yeah. Well, Central Illinois is going to hear more about him.
Well, thank you. I hope so, in a good way.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Well, thank you, Mark.
Dave, you managed this pool for, what, how many years?
16 to 17 years.
16 or 17 years.
I ran it, I enjoyed it.
Yeah? What's it feel like when you come back?
I see a lot of people that I know, and people said, why don't you come back? I said, no, I don't want to help John. I hired John. John was here when he was 14 years old at the concession stand. I got 3 kids. They were all lifeguards for me. And we had some good lifeguards. We had one by the name of Janice Cordier. Everybody wanted her to give him swimming lessons because she was very good. She had a swimming scholarship from Eastern. Yeah. Her dad, Dick, still swims here. He swims laps all the time. And it's a great time. And my kids are all in the swim team. Matter of fact, my wife, Mary Ann, I met her in college up in Iowa. And she coached the swim team, I think, for 5 years. And all my kids swam on the swim team for them. My wife was a heck of a swimmer out of St. Louis. And I went to her house one time, and her dad went to Mizzou. Yeah. And her dad, and I went home with her. First I went home with her, I said, Mr. Schnellbacher, I said, are those your ribbons? No, those are Mary Ann's. I had no idea she swam. She went to Cattle Girls from Dubuque Clark. I went to Loras College in Dubuque. Yeah. And I said, those are Mary Ann's. I said, what? There was a glass case like this and all blue ribbons, and she had about 20 trophies up there. And she coached swimming.
And she didn't tell you any of this about her.
Never told me anything.
Is she humble about everything?
She's very humble. She's very humble.
And your kids were on the swim team here.
Everyone was on the swim team.
Did you ever coach swimming?
No, I never did. No, I was over Taylorville the last. I coached everything was except swimming and golf. Yeah. One time, she coached Southeast about 5 years. And one time she got sick. She couldn't make the meet. And I said, I'm kind of cocky. And she said, I can't make swim. I said, Marianne, I'll take them. Had no clue. So I go to Lincoln. We go to Lincoln College, and we're swimming against Lincoln High School in 4 lanes at Lincoln College. Yeah. she's there, and the guy said, you know anything about diving? I said, yeah, I know a lot about diving. I didn't know a thing about diving. You know, he put up 3 and 4s. I go like this. And the guy looks at me like, well, I guess he knows what he's doing. Then we won the meet. I said, if we win the meet, I said, I'll buy at McDonald's in Lincoln. We stopped at Lincoln. I bought McDonald's, and we won the meet, and I enjoyed it. She had one girl who went to state, though, Julie Bancroft. She swam. She was ranked 7th to state. I'd always take off. Taylorville High School doesn't know this. It's Taylorville the last 20 years. And I told Tom Campbell, I said, I can't make it. I got to go out of town tomorrow, like on a Friday. I took the girls up there. We had about 12 or 13 girls from Southeast and Springfield High. We take the swim meet. State swim meet is held at Winnetka, New Trier, and Evanston High School. Yeah. I drove a van up there. She had this Julie Bancroft, who's a heck of a swimmer. I'll never forget this. She was ranked 2nd in state, and she came in 7th. She was
devastated.
She gets on an elevator mark, and she's crying when her mother's. She's a senior in high school, and she's crying on her mother's shoulder because she didn't make the finals.
Shucks.
It was tough.
Yeah, but for the most part, when you come in here, it's all goodness. It's goodness and light.
It's good.
Fun.
And you couldn't beat the job you had here. I enjoyed it. You know, I knew everybody. Some of these people said hi to me. I went up to today. I said, I don't know them, but you know, these people grow up.
You
kids
know
are here.
You know
I know a lot.
Some of these kids, some of the kids that were kids, bring their kids here, and you see them too,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for talking. to me about
Okay.
it.
Thanks, Mark. Have a good one.
The 50th summer of the Colony West Swim Club is fading away, but it won't be gone before there's a big 50th anniversary celebration before the end of the month. With another Illinois story in Springfield, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you. For a DVD copy of the program you've just seen, send $19.95 to Network Knowledge, P.O. Box 6248, Springfield, Illinois 62708. Be sure to include the program name, subject, and when the program aired. You can also order with your credit card by calling 800-232-3605.